And if you want a timeline jump, I'm going to give you the code. So, especially if it's around finances.
Yes.
What you need to do is you need to sit down, and there's two parts of making money. Like making money is easy. It's
So Nadia, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. So you are the neurospicy astrologist on TikTok. So I hear.
I am. I
Yeah.
am. It is a label that I have accepted with honor.
Yeah.
It is
Mm-hmm.
also a label that I invented for myself. So
It fits beautifully.
thank you. I've also
Yes.
recently started a cult. After someone asked me if I wanted to start a cult, and I'm like, well, who am I to say no? So I'm in the process of starting a cult. It's called the Intergalactic Association of
Oh.
Astrologers. And we have quite strict rules. Like, for
Yeah.
instance, on the 34th of February every single year, we tools down for 2 days, we sit down, and we intensely meditate on the fact and the question of why is ramen broth infinitely more superior to chicken stock?
I'm not going to be able to get through this.
Well, that's what happens when you invite a Gemini moon on a podcast.
Oh my gosh, I love this. This is
Wait till
amazing.
you hear about the cult rule that we have. So every cult has to have that crazy rule where everyone like it's that cult. So
Yeah.
our rule for a cult is you have to bequeath all of your worldly possessions, including your sofa, to the International Space Station. And you have to then every single week with vigor and insufferability and annoyance write letters to NASA complaining on why, when you are so generous, they have not put aside a shuttle to take your belongings into space, and how incredibly ungrateful they are.
I
And
can't believe
bonus
they
points,
haven't.
I know, right? And bonus points,
Yes.
you get like upped in the ranks of like evil intergalactic superior astrologers. If you do it in song. Yeah. We prefer like a country twang
That's
rap.
what I was going to say. What type of genre are we looking
Yeah, but
for?
the favorite rule of everyone that has joined the cult so far, and despite my mother can't believing there's more than 5 people so far. Um,
Six? Are there six people?
no, we're in the double digits, Jennifer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The
Yes.
cult like 2 weeks ago. Like I am going to start my own like white wine collection. I'm gonna call it Kool-Aid. Um, but it's going to be the fun kind to drink. But the favorite rule
Absolutely.
of everyone in the cult is the fact that when you join the cult, there's like the ceremonial thing where you have to pick your favorite goose. Now, this sounds simple, but you have to go and find a goose. We don't provide the goose. And you have to choose a goose you can bond with. And then on the third Wednesday of every week, you have to write a love letter to your goose, and you have to include some sort of astrological transit or position into it so that you and your goose can really bond. And then one of the followers or one of the commenters on the video sent a photo of her cat and said his name is Goose. And now, like, I mean, that's a sign from the universe saying that this cult
Yes.
needs to exist. So yeah,
Yes,
if anyone
absolutely.
watches this podcast and want to join the Intergalactic Association of Astrologers, it will start as a newsletter. Yeah, let me know. Like, we're open for
Awesome.
positions as long as you've got a goose.
I can get a goose. I mean, is there an official application or anything, or can I just show you my
No, no,
goose when I
at this
get the
point, it's
goose?
just vibes. Like,
Okay,
it's just,
I got it.
yeah,
Yes.
we're
Okay.
on vibes at the moment. We don't have an
Yeah.
admin department yet, but hopefully soon, maybe
So,
someone will be like, I head the accounting department. Oh, I'm Barbara from HR, and I've always wanted to like be the administrator of a cult, and I'm just like, do you have a goose, Barbara? And she's like, actually, I have five. I'm like, do you have a favorite? She's like, yes, I've got the one I love with all my heart, and the one I will have for my Christmas dinner. And I'll be like, that's a bit extreme. So don't give Barbara
Adrian.
too much. Don't give Barbara too much power. But also, Barbara, do you have a Scorpio moon by any chance?
I do.
You could be Barbara.
I could be Barbara.
I don't even know
I'm
the big.
Scorpio rising and moon, and a Leo sun.
Oh, it's the Leo sun, I think. It's the Leo
Mhm.
sun.
Think so?
Leo sun. You know what? Leos are one of the most misunderstood and fascinating signs out there
Hmm.
because an unhealed Leo works
Yeah.
at like two spectrums. And everyone assumes that all Leos fall in the spectrum, and
Mm-hmm.
that is why they get like the egotistical label. But the real crux of a Leo is Leos aren't obsessed with the spotlight. The spotlight is obsessed with Leo because it's ruled by the sun. Now, what
Yes.
happens is some Leos get like Stockholm syndrome, and they fall in love back with this with the
The
spotlight.
spotlight. Yeah.
And then it balloons into this kind of situation where it becomes a twisted version and an unhealed aspect of that Leo. And on the other end of the spectrum, because every unhealed placement has two ends of the spectrum, on the
Yeah.
other end of the spectrum is a Leo that completely shuns the spotlight. And this is where we
I've been
see,
terrified of the spotlight
yep,
most of my life. Mm-hmm.
this is where we see people having even extreme anxiety, some agoraphobia, people that will actively avoid any attention whatsoever. And they then reject this label of Leos are egotistical because it is the antithesis of what they are. And because they reject it so hard, it just pushes them to the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Now, the antidote and the cure to both ends is exactly the same thing. And it's probably something that you've naturally gravitated and grown into. And that is authentic recognition. Because recognition and the spotlight is entwined in the mechanics of it. So if you are someone with prominent Leo energy and you are not comfortable with the spotlight and you see the spotlight as like an ego thing,
Right.
and you reject it or you become obsessed with it, that still doesn't satisfy the mechanism because the mechanism isn't attention, it is authentic recognition. That is
Yes.
exactly the thing.
Yes.
So if you're on the more shy end of the spectrum, I usually tell clients, okay, we start small. We start small.
Right.
Think of one thing that you've done that you wish two people saw. And
Mm-hmm.
this can be something as small as, you know what? I didn't run out of toilet paper this month. Like I actually went to the store when I
That
had
is
to
such a
go.
win.
Exactly. And you might have a bestie with ADHD that struggles with the same thing, and she might say to you, wow, I'm proud of you. Like, I want to be you. And that little bit of spotlight starts snowballing over time.
Yes.
And over
Yes.
time, you challenge yourself to do things and say things that more people recognize. And
Yeah.
that way, you also don't fall in that Leo trap on the other end where you start being a little bit resentful around people around you that get positive attention and accepted easily.
Mm.
So that is one unhealed aspect. The other side of the unhealed aspect, and I actually think a lot of Leos that look and sound narcissistic aren't narcissistic. Now, narcissism is something that astrology can't cure. It's a mental condition, and
Absolutely.
astrology is
Yes.
not prophecy, nor is it medicine.
Yeah.
You are not going to cure your illness by howling at the moon on the third Saturday of every March.
It doesn't work that way?
No, it
No
doesn't.
wonder it hasn't worked. That's what I've been doing that for years.
I know, right?
Yes.
No, you just need to take some Benadryl and that will take care of the allergies. Howling at the moon won't do it.
If
But on
only.
the other end of the spectrum, I usually say to people, every time you try and find that spotlight, because they can come across as narcissists, but it's just an unhealed Leo. Every
Right.
time you feel like you need recognition or you need people to see you, because you end up alienating more people. So instead of attracting the attention that you so desperately crave, you just get a lot of haters. And that like reinforces the loop. So instead of that, is every time when you want to be the loudest in the room, or the person that is recognized, or the person at your job that is being seen by everyone, ask yourself, do I want to be seen right now to feed my ego? Or do I
Mhm.
want to be seen right now to feed the fact that I've actually done something I'm authentically proud of?
Yes.
And once
Yes.
they start building that muscle of recognizing which one of the two it is,
Hmm.
usually after like 2, 3 months, they're like, oh, it's instinct now. Like, I am just being loud and obnoxious right now because I'm being a little bitch. It's
Yeah.
perfectly
Yeah. Hmm.
fine. And kind of awareness and understanding the mechanics of your chart and how your chart operates helps tremendously with understanding the why behind what you do. And that's why I fell in love with astrology in the first place. It wasn't because I could explain it. Logically, I can't explain why men 2000 years ago looked in the sky and decided like, oh, Scorpio risings will be intense. Like, I don't know. I don't also
Yes.
don't know why most of them are. And there's some weird
Right.
outliers that can also be explained with the same doctrine of the guys that looked up in the sky.
Hmm.
And so that is why I fell in love with it, because it explained the why. And if I can understand the why, and most people are like that, especially
Yeah.
logical people that don't just live off of feelings, and I'm kind of like, I'm allergic to feelings. It's quite a bad allergy, and I'm also a bit emotionally constipated. So understanding the why gives you immense
Yeah.
ability to go through difficult times. If someone said to me today, Nadia, I need to cut off your right leg, well, I would probably call the police and put my Pomeranian on you. That's something I would do. However, if you told me today, Nadia, I need to cut off your right leg, you have a tumor that is spreading very fast.
Be
You will
like,
have
okay.
incredible pain in your leg, and this is something of importance and we need to do it right away. I would probably say, okay, that makes sense. I'm still pissed off at you, but it
Yeah.
makes sense. And
Right.
and imagine understanding your entire mechanism and why you
Mm.
work the way you work, so that most situations and scenarios that come your way, you can be like, that's the one.
So, how did you find astrology?
You just asked a very fascinating question that opened
I
up the
can't
entire
wait.
wormhole. So I grew up in a very small town in South Africa. And I grew up in an incredibly Christian environment. I did not meet my first atheist until I was 20. So
Hmm.
everyone around me were Christian. In the small town we lived in, the only bookshop was a Christian bookshop. Funny thing is, the other day I unpacked all of my old book boxes that I took with me when I came to the
Yeah.
UK. I own 7 Bibles and an incredible amount of Amish romance novels. Because
Interesting.
the South Africans love to romanticize the Amish. Like, honestly, like my
Really?
grandma, yeah, it's all true love guided by God. That's
Well, yeah.
exactly,
Oh,
they're all
absolutely. Yeah, it
very,
is. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
No question
interesting
there.
thing is, none of the books, none of them really mentions Rumspringa. So that year where they get to decide if they want to be Amish gets like whitewashed as this, oh, she worked at the local bakery and just found that God wasn't with the English the way they were with her own people, and that's why she married Joseph. And they had 15 babies and lived happily ever after. And I'm sure, well, from watching Breaking Amish in the 2010s, I was like, so this is okay. Okay, I was sold a lie.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I grew up in an incredibly religious environment,
Hmm.
and I questioned religion right out of the bat. However,
Hmm.
I'm also Aquarius dominant, and Aquarius is a fixed sign. So even though I question everything, I am deeply loyal to the narrative with an Aquarius Mercury that
Yeah.
I believe. So for many years, like my first tattoo was a cross. I was very much, I am Christian. Did I really believe it? Questionable. However,
Right.
it was part of my identity. Now, I've always felt drawn to like tarot cards, divination, all of those things.
Hmm.
And that was all like demons, and demons were
Oh,
influencing me.
yes. Absolutely.
However, however,
Mm-hmm.
Astrology is different, you see, Jennifer. Because this little Aquarian mind figured out pretty easy from studying the Bible that the stars led the wise men to Jesus. So
I've
every
never
time
heard
someone
that.
said to me, that is devilish, and my mother as well fell for it,
Yeah, yeah.
I said like, well, if it was good enough for Jesus and the wise men, why can't I study it?
And that's something like now I was going to say I'd never understood, but now I can't say that. When I was in religion and astrology would be brought up, and again, I know about that much, right? And um, but I was always afraid at the time to look into it, and I did think it was evil. So, but I say I thought it. I was just going with what I was told, but I still was confused. How could the stars and the planets and uh, we're on a floating planet going through the universe right now? Like, how can all of that be evil? The wise man did use a star.
And astrology predates Christianity in
Oh,
a
yes.
lot of studies. It also
Yes.
predates Judaism and Abrahamic faith. So
Completely agree. Mm-hmm.
if we're playing like the proof game, which most Christians don't like playing, which I didn't
Right?
like playing when I was
At
very
the
Christian.
time. Yes.
Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
every time you challenge it with logic, that is seen as evil. And you
Yes.
can't and you can't argue against like illogical beliefs. Like you can't.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. And
Yes.
it took such a long time to deconstruct that and such a
Mm-hmm.
long time to heal from that religious trauma. It took such a long time. Um, like I won't talk about Christianity or faith to most of my family. Like they have no idea what I do or what I believe. I mean, if they ask me, I will
Yes.
be open with it because I'm at a point in my practice where I'm like, yeah, I'm not lying to sugarcoat
Yeah.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
There are like
Right.
7 people on this planet for which I would like bend my morals.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I
Mm-hmm.
am very open with it. I also, and I don't know if this is something that you've struggled with as well. I deeply believe you can believe whatever you want to believe. Like,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, if you want to believe that the Martians are sending you telepathic messages and that is why you have a cheese addiction, I'm like, girl, I will support you if you want to start
Absolutely.
that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like mozzarella Sundays can be a thing. I will
Yes.
even go potluck. Um,
Yes.
however, I found myself in this point, and it's mostly with Abrahamic faiths,
Mm-hmm.
where I found like I've deconstructed it to a point where at one end of the spectrum, I feel like you can believe whatever you want to believe. But at what point do we start seeing the destructive behavior it is causing in communities and keep
Yeah.
ignoring it for the sake of everyone can believe whatever they want?
I am right there with you. Absolutely. And I can respect people's beliefs,
Mm,
but it's it's the abuse and the trauma and that it causes in people's lives, and uh, you take an innocent child, pretty honestly, like that comes out of the womb, and you start programming that child, right? That um I'm with you. That's why I speak out against it. It's because
yeah,
of the abuse and the trauma that it ruins. It can ruin lives and people, and they stay in a constant state of fear and shame and guilt, terrified to have a conversation outside of their beliefs,
yeah,
or any conversation, right? Or be friends with someone who doesn't believe like they do. Like I could be friends with anyone. You can have any belief you want, right?
exactly.
And I respect that. And I actually want to learn about it just because I want to learn more about your world,
Yes,
right?
I want
And
to
so
understand you.
Yeah, yes. And it's so fascinating understanding people on that intimate level, right? And like learning more about them. But it's where the trauma and the abuse come in that I don't think that we need to be quiet about it. Because you know what? If you're bold enough to do it, then it's okay for someone to be bold enough to speak out against it.
If witches or pagans or any other non-Abrahamic um, religion or spiritual practice said half
Mm-hmm.
of the thing that conservative Christianism or Muslim leaders said, they
Mm-hmm.
would be crucified, no
Yes.
pun
Yes.
intended.
Yeah, no,
Like,
no, right.
they would be like, if the witches came out tomorrow and said it's a blessing when a 4-year-old gets forced because the moon goddess
Right.
sees that as precious life, like, can you imagine the
No.
backlash?
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, I cannot
But
imagine.
and it's
Yeah.
that thing was when are we going to stop being illogical and start thinking
Yeah.
of logic? Logic and spiritualism can be a beautifully melded thing.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not
I
one of the
agree.
other. It's not one of the other.
No.
And I think on the other end, I know amazing Christians that would literally give the shirt off their back.
Yes.
So it's not a thing of like Christians are bad or Muslims are bad
Mm-mm.
or this is bad or Jews are bad.
Mm-mm.
It's a case of let's reward people that are good and not people that look righteous or believe
Yes.
most. And I think
Agreed.
that is the thing. And another thing that I had to deconstruct from my own religious trauma was this
Mm-hmm.
dark versus light. Because I
Mm.
thought everything light is good and everything dark is
It's
evil.
bad. Mm-hmm.
And
Evil.
that
Mm-hmm.
exactly, and that is just not the thing.
It's not.
For instance, my spiritual practice, I'm incredibly close with Lilith. She has been an immense comfort to me. And she is seen by Christians as the baby killer and this demonic
Mm.
goddess.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me time to deconstruct that. And I kind of like threw that away, took some of Jesus's teachings. And right now I ask myself, is this a frequency of love or is this a frequency of fear? Because I
Yeah.
don't think the thing like light and dark, there can be love in darkness and there can be fear in light.
Yes.
Some of the
Yes.
darkest places or some of the scariest places I've ever seen were churches.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the scariest atmospheres I've ever felt were within churches. So taking that back to light and dark, that really helped me kind of distinguish which one is which, because otherwise we get trapped in like that programming without even
Yes.
realizing it, even when we step out into our own spiritual practice. But the thing is, I never dreamed of becoming an astrologist. In fact, 3 years ago, I probably would have said crazy. 10 years ago, I would have said crazy. 15-year-old now, I probably thought it would be cool. But I never set out to it, and I actively avoided it. I
Yeah.
actively avoided it. In fact, for a year, I practiced in secret to the point of you could only get a reading with me if you knew someone that knew me that
That
got a
you.
reading
Yes.
from me. Yeah.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
like kind of like underworld mafia vibes. That's why I feel comfortable becoming a cult leader. So I've seen the underworld. But I am very spiritual, and I feel like every single road I've led to this point has led me to this point.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I started with a degree in forensic accounting. Then I
Mm.
moved to the UK, did my MBA International Business and Finance. I started my first company. I built that up. It was in the personalized gifts and homeware space. Grew that, scaled that a little bit, quite a bit over COVID, especially. It absolutely boomed. And we were modestly successful. We were in Glamour and Cosmopolitan, one of the biggest sellers in or not on the high street in the UK. I don't say this to to blow my
Yeah.
own horn
Yeah.
because
No.
it is relevant to how big the fall was. So
Yeah.
this atmosphere for how bad it got. I'm doing this for the plot, not for the recognition.
But it's completely okay for the recognition too. I mean, that is something that you should be
Yeah, I don't have
proud
prominent Leo
of.
energy, so the recognition isn't really a thing for me. But I
Hmm.
have the dark trait of the Aquarian, which is the intellectual superiority. Like that's my battle.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my battle, not the I'm comfortable in the spotlight. My fifth house ruled by Leo is creativity. I've got fortune in there. So only
Hmm.
Leo placement I have. I'm pretty comfortable either way. And so what happened was I had a small team of 5 people. We
Hmm.
worked, we did everything in-house. When COVID happened, we boomed, we went viral overnight. We had to be like really creative how we did
Mm.
that thing. But I've always been very good at pattern recognition my entire life. I could
Hmm.
always see 15 steps ahead. So what happened is about 2021, end of COVID, I
COVID.
said to
Yeah.
my husband and my stepdad, who worked with me, I said, like, this had an incredibly sharp rise. It's going to have just as much of a drop.
Mm.
And I give us 2 to 3 years. And they were like, no, and I'm like, 2 to 3 years. Like,
Yeah.
if we're lucky, 3 years. We
Hmm.
had 9 months. So I was off
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
Which did incidentally trigger that intellectual superiority on why was I not right. So that one got pickled.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But we reach a point where customs fees were increasing, where Royal Mail upped the prices, where I couldn't get it from the suppliers because the suppliers were going bankrupt one after another. So
Yep.
a product that used to be stocked by 10 suppliers only now
Hmm.
was stocked by 2, and it was the
Oh,
big guys, so they could drive up their prices because they had funding.
yes.
And I remember one Christmas, Royal Mail went on strike, prices doubled, and end of December we didn't make any profit after
Mm.
working 15 to 20-hour days every single day, being so
Wow.
tired over Christmas that I literally couldn't keep my eyes up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I need to declare that this company is insolvent anymore
Hmm.
because it isn't anymore, and you have to declare that right away. Otherwise, it can bite you in the butt later on.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I had to make that decision and walk away because it
Oh,
was
that
like,
was
oh,
difficult.
what you had and let the people go that
Yeah.
work with you, or stay in this and lose everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, as much as I love my team and what I've built and the brand I have, I can't lose everything for one business.
And you also saw, I
Yeah.
mean, you saw the end anyway.
I had 5 friends that were in the same industry. None of them are still trading.
Mm.
3 went bankrupt. 1 almost lost everything. I got out in time,
Hmm.
which is quite scary. And
Yeah.
then the imposter syndrome started. Then
Oh,
the
yes.
crash of what the heck am I going to do next? Luckily, I bounced back quick. I bounced back
Hmm.
quick.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, I might have lost what I've built over the last 7 years, but I haven't lost the skills I had when I built it.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
quite good at copywriting. I understand marketing. I understand brand development. I understand all these things. At the time, you won't believe this, Jennifer, but at the time, I had severe anxiety around phones. Like I could not make a phone call at all. Like I could not talk over a phone. And I went online and started working freelance, and I worked for like £3, like $5 an hour for the
Yeah.
first
Hmm.
first month because I knew I needed to build up some reputation in order to be
Yes.
taken
Yes.
seriously. And things were financially really, really tough because that income disappeared overnight, and we bought a house, and there's financial responsibilities
Hmm.
and I remember the day a client said, I want to work with you, but I want to give you a video call.
It's
And
like,
neither did me, but I
no,
also don't want to
no.
man. But as I do have Leo in the fifth house, I'm a great actress, so I was
Yes.
shooting bricks. However, I was very friendly. And I had the call with him. I remember his name was Muhammad, and he gave me, it wasn't a great deal, but I got like 10 blog posts, which paid a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
So during this time, I also signed up for a little app the week when it launched called ChatGPT. And
Mm.
I worked with it, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. And I'm like, if this is the worst it's going to get, I can't wait. So I made it my hyperfixation, which I'm very
Mm-hmm.
good at. I made it my
Mm-hmm.
hyperfixation, and I started using it responsibly. Obviously, I see that it was a tool. I also could see that the job I was currently doing and the things I was doing, which was mainly copywriting, because that is what most businesses outsource before they do like marketing or branding or all of these things that people think you need for a brand or a business that you
Yeah.
don't need. I could see like this is 3 months, then this job won't exist. And I remember I made friends with a copywriter. We've talked a couple of times, and I said to her,
Mm-hmm.
"What are you doing? Because our job is not going to exist in 6 months." And she's like, "Our job will always exist." And I'm like, "Okay, are you using AI to like accelerate it?" And
Yeah.
she was like, "No, I refuse to use AI." I'm like, "Okay, so you're gonna have a career change very suddenly, very soon."
Yes.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that naturally took me into, I eventually went into brand and consulting and marketing, the whole spiel,
Mm-hmm.
but I got really interested in AI. So long story short, I decided to vibe code. I couldn't get anywhere. I had a mentor at the time, and he said to me, Nadia, you are putting so many stops trying to not learn code and not code. Just learn the code and do it yourself. So I did that, built a platform, decided to migrate that platform, launched an AI company with a very dear business partner who I'm still very close with.
Yeah.
Um, there was a VA agency in between, other collaborations, other amazing business partners, a lot of networking. I was part of a networking group. Um, and then doors started closing left, right, and center, Jennifer, like overnight. And the more I fought it, the worse it got. And even though I
Yes.
had all of these skills and all of these very marketable skills, and I was able to do a lot of stuff with AI, the doors kept closing and I kept working harder and nothing happened. And I was also in a first year perfection year, and my first house is in Aries. I'm an Aries rising. You're Scorpio rising. You will also probably, when you look back, see a first house year is one of the most difficult years if you're Mars ruled, especially if your Mars isn't in a funky, nice place. Mine is in Taurus. I've got an entire relationship with my Mars. We're fine now. We don't
Right.
love each other, but we're fine.
The
But
good
it means
thing.
her Mars ruled year one, and a year one kind of like defines who you are.
Right. Right.
And then I had this moment, and I was just like, once again, spiritually practicing my thing, and I was like, every single thing I try, if I don't do this, is going to fail, right? And
It's
the
like,
peanut
yeah.
gallery, as I like calling them, said, "Oh, you're only now picking up on that, like only now."
You may
But
have been a
then,
little slow, but hey, glad you
yeah,
joined the party.
exactly. And then I had to break the news to my Virgo husband that was already really stressed financially because I was not bringing in nearly enough money, that I'm going to become an astrologist and start posting on TikTok.
Seems
That
like
went
such
down
a
like a
great
flash.
option,
I know, right? And
especially to a Virgo.
he's like, I love you so much, but I need a partner right now. And I'm like, I am going to dig us out of this, but I can't worry about your feelings and fix this at the same time. So
Hmm.
I'm not going to worry about your feelings right now because I'm going to dig us out of it. And he was like, please just apply for jobs as well, at least.
Just yeah.
So I applied for jobs all the time.
Hmm.
And I did it. That ironically, the only money that was coming in was from my super secret astrology practice. Uh, that kept us going. So I kept on doing the thing, and then I was like, okay, now I'm going to do something different in a second house perfectionist. Second house perfection year is all about money, worth, value. What are you going to make? It's also one of the years where you have the most amount of luck in making money.
Right?
So I like money. I like
Yes.
making money. I've made money before. So I was like, okay, Nadia, you need a reality shift. And this is where I think I kind of timeline jumped because
Mm-hmm.
I timeline jumped in like the shortest amount. And if you want a timeline jump, I'm going to give you the code. So, especially if it's around finances,
Yes.
what you need to do is you need to sit down, and there's two parts of making money. Like making money is easy. It's
Yeah.
at its core is find something someone wants to buy and figure out how to make more of it. Like
Yes.
that
Yes.
economy as is,
Mm-hmm.
like simplified to its bones. And there's two parts of making money that I like calling the vault and the blueprint. And most of us think the vault gets filled first, and then we write the blueprint, and then rinse and repeat. And that's not
Right.
what happens. Most of the time, we're so focused on the vault that the blueprint doesn't even get developed, let alone put in the distant future as something we want to do. And I think that's why most passion projects fail. So I sat down and I'm like, you've got skills, because I have skills. I've been in business for, gosh, 15 years now. I started my first business at the ripe age of 5 when I gaslighted my mother into baking cupcakes so that I could sell them. Side note, I always take the most difficult route. It's part of my chart structure. I'm T squared functioned.
Mm-hmm.
My
Mm-hmm.
mother is a terrible baker, but I could sell out. I chose the difficult route from like the age of
Yeah,
5.
you did.
So I said to myself, okay, Nadia, we're going to do a thought exercise and everyone can benefit by doing this. I want you to pretend that you've made all of the money that you think you're capable of making. And then I want you to pretend you lost it overnight, all of the money, like not a single cent. And then you're allowed to be buttered for a couple of days, like
Right.
sad me. If
Right.
you want to do method acting, you can really like go into like the black clothes, like my empire was taken away. Like if you have heavy Leo placements, then that might help you like get
Yes.
in character. And then I
Yeah.
want you to think of it as not how am I going to make money to survive, it's how am I going to rebuild my empire. And for the
Mm.
next 3 months, you're going to focus on the blueprint. You're not going to focus on the vault. The vault is not the
Mm-hmm.
issue. Obviously, you
Mm-hmm.
have to eat and survive. So if you have to do this every night after work, then put the burning oil in, but do it in a strategic way where you're not planning and designing 15 clothes brands and buying all the stuff that you need for it and then never launching it. Like that's
Yeah.
what most people that want to build a business fall trap in.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, so what do I need to rebuild my empire? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I need recognition because where recognition is, money follows, always.
Mm.
You have to be pretty bad at monetizing something to not make money if you have attention on you. And
Right.
if that is you, then the fix for you is painfully easy. Like, I am very jealous of you because you already have all the tools. So I was like, okay, this sounds brilliant. I've been posting on TikTok every single day, like multiple times a
Yeah.
day, and I'm getting 250 views. So I'm
Yes.
spending like, because I was really bad at making content at
I
that
got
time because I was
stuck there.
really new at it.
Yeah.
Um, so I got like 250 views, and I'm like, okay, so you are going to treat every single view as if
Mm-hmm.
it is a dollar that you earn or a pound you earn.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how excited you get when 250 views start becoming 300 views if
Yeah.
they all equal $1 over 10 videos?
Absolutely. Yes.
Like the
Mm-hmm.
excitement becomes, and you're going to measure success by the frequency you post. So success means I
Yeah.
posted 3 times today, and all 3 are great. I
Mm-hmm.
also knew that I have the skills, but I'm not good at this yet. So reps count. The more videos
Yes.
you make, the
Yes.
better. Also, your end vision and who you become happens in the motion. It very rarely, there's very few chart setups where the person you need to become and what you need for success is all happening beforehand and then it executes, especially if you have a day chart. If you have your sun above the horizon, babe, you're never going to have the luxury of developing something and then just launching something that's going to be amazing and everyone is going to.
Right.
So I kept doing that.
It's a
I kept
slow
doing
process,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
And it's different for everyone. Like, you won't necessarily have the exact same things that I have because you don't
Mhm.
have the exact same skills. There are people that did a lot better than me. There are people that started with me that are still around 2,000
Mm-hmm.
subscribers. That like stop comparing yourself to other people.
Yes.
You're just
Yes.
playing a
Yes.
losing game. You're
Right.
you're playing a losing game. And
Mm-hmm.
I kept doing this, and throughout it, something beautiful happened. So
Mm-hmm.
I come from a family of teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, my mother said to me, I can do anything I want. That changed over time. And when I
I was
went
gonna
to
say,
university, yeah, when I went to university, it changed from like, you can do anything you want to, you need to do something in business studies.
yeah,
You can't
I
study
know.
art.
It's like when I said anything, I didn't really mean anything. Just
Yeah.
within these parameters.
And I didn't even want to go to university. Like
Yeah.
I did not want to go to university at all. But my mother has a PhD and she was a lecturer at the university. Can you imagine the scandal of hell you need all to not go to university? So something beautiful happened along the way. So my mother always said you can be anything you want
Mm-hmm.
except a teacher. You can't be a teacher. I'm really bad with children. Like my entire family have a gift for working with children. I don't at all. I
Yeah.
have more patience with people like end of life, very old, that want to sit and just talk
Yeah.
about stuff than I have
Yeah.
with little children. It's just
Right.
something I've never been good at. And I've never seen myself as a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
ever. Like, that's not my thing. I don't want to teach people stuff. But, and I thought I was going to become this in my head. And this is why it's so important to do the motion while you do
Right.
the development. In my head, at my most successful, I'm going to be a renowned astrologist that very rich people pay to tell them what goes on in their life. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm manifesting that. Yeah, I'm gonna do Jeff Bezos's astrology, and then I'm also gonna tell him he's an arsehole and he needs to do better. Aquarius.
Yes.
But people started saying, like, I like the way you explain things. Like,
Mm.
this makes sense now.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think it's mostly because my brain works in analogies, and other people on the neurodivergent end work in analogies as well.
Which is another
Um,
thing that drew me to you. So yes,
Thank
right there with
you.
you. Mm-hmm.
And then I discovered, like, I actually enjoy this. And it
Yeah.
changed the
Yeah.
trajectory completely. And that's why I'm working on the course. I'm working on the workshop. I am working with an amazing writing coach named Brenda Euchel. She's helping me get my book finished.
Yeah.
Um, and I have so much hope for the future. And I absolutely love the question that you sent me that says, where do I see myself? Because it was such an aha moment. Because when I read that, I was like, okay, let me check in. Because when I had my first business, it was,
Yeah.
I've seen this brand in major stores and I see this brand as a household brand. Um, I also see myself as opening this business and that business.
Yeah.
During the freelancing, I was like, I see myself opening this, I see myself opening that, I do this, and this. And when I read that question, I was like, where do I see myself in 10 years? Like, still doing what I'm doing, just on a bigger scale and helping more people, teaching more people. And I think
I,
that's the moment where I realized, oh, yeah, this is the thing. This is
yeah.
the thing.
This is where I'm supposed to be. Yes. That I I can't wait for your course to come out. I like I just can't wait. So sign me up already.
You. I'm so
So
excited about it.
so how long do you think it will be?
I am notoriously good at saying, oh, it will take me like 2 weeks, and then it takes me 6 months. So I'm trying this new thing where I don't think I'm Superman, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not going well. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's
Yeah.
not easy. It's not going well.
Transparency is the best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought I was gonna launch my workshop
Mm-hmm.
this week, and I
Yeah.
said to people, I think I'm launching it this week, and I've had tons of DMs and stuff like, did I miss the workshop? And I'm like, no, you
Oh
didn't. I got
no.
an inspection and also an uptake in orders, and
Yeah.
I'm now at that point where I kind of have to make another faith step because I'm getting enough orders in calls and reports and all of those things that it's keeping me busy full time. That with content
Yeah.
marketing, content making, I'm working 18-hour days. Like
Yeah.
you won't say it because I am like the Energizer Bunny, but I've only slept 1 hour last night.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Yes.
insomnia, and also I needed to pull that.
And you have to
So
take care of yourself too.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
now the point where I'm like, every day I don't address the elephant in the room is a day where I create myself a more and more stressful job where I can only
Yes.
reach a finite amount of people. And
Right.
more people want to learn from me than people that want to buy from me. And I can't service
Mm.
as many people that want to buy from me because all of my reports are still, I'm driving the entire report. It works on my custom algorithm, and it's very
Right.
much a overseen process, but I drive the entire thing because
Yeah.
that's the Capricorn stellium.
Hmm.
So I'm in that phase, that uncomfortable step where I can feel like if I don't listen right now, the universe is going to be like, okay, we'll make you listen. And
Yeah. Yes.
I don't want something like losing my TikTok account to be the reason why I suddenly have no more money and have to do it all. Like, listen, be cautious. It's the fan.
Yes.
But I am halfway through the workshop, and the workshop is includes very little astrology. So whether
Yeah.
you're a beginner astrologer and you basically know your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising, or you've been doing this for a very long time, the workshop is suitable for you. It's a
Right.
2 hour workshop. It's recorded, so you can watch it anytime. You can go back to it. You can go
Perfect.
backwards, forwards, all of the ways around. But what it does is it helps you find the mechanism that runs your entire chart. And
Mm.
we do that through pattern recognition rather than Venus in Aquarius will behave in this way. So
Yeah.
we don't even look at the signs or the planets until step 5 and 6. Like step 1 to 4 is all pattern recognition. And it's
Right.
practical steps that anyone can do. It's literally like, okay, get all your aspect patterns, all your
Right.
aspects. Then eliminate everything that does not fit this parameter. Okay, now we're going to make a list of all of those. Then we're going to start playing with them to see which shapes they make. Then we're going to
Right.
identify how that shape works in your chart. And then we start looking at it through the signs and the planets to understand the finer mechanisms of that mechanism that drive your entire chart. Now, some charts are painfully obvious. I can look at a chart for like 2 seconds and I'm like, yeah, I know what the mechanism is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need to spend like 20 minutes with the chart to figure out the mechanism because it is that
Right.
complicated. And the idea of the workshop is to give you enough step-by-step instruction to understand what your mechanism is, whether you have, like me, I have an incredibly easy mechanism. I'm T-square, motivated, very much textbook T-square.
Yeah.
Or if you have maybe a lot of conjunctions and only 3 aspects, like what is your pattern and a lot of aversions. And then it also includes, as a bonus point, 3 celebrity charts, which are over the shoulder, where I show you how I do all of these steps for a
Yeah.
celebrity chart. So
Oh,
you
that's
can
cool.
see in real life how that works. And one of the things I always say is, if you want to get into learning astrology, you will learn a lot more by analyzing charts and fixing data points. You start with your own chart. Always start with your own chart because you
Yes. Yes.
learn a lot. Do not then move to friends and family charts because you have a skewed idea of what that person is, and your narrative or the lens you see them through is going to color the way you analyze the chart.
Yeah.
Analyze charts of people that I know and love, friends and family, and then gave them the analysis, and then they're like, "Yeah, this is not me."
Yeah.
Like
No, it
I
is
need
true. Really.
I need to squint 3 times, and then I take the training wheels off, or the little like, oh, but they're really extroverted, so they must
Yeah.
manifest this version, and just give them, and they're like, shit, how did you see me like that?
Yeah.
So I always say start with celebrity charts because you have verifiable data points. You can look at
Yes.
how does this show up multiple times in reporting over many years. And the way I usually teach is find a very noted and documented version of something that you're not interested in. I
Right.
like doing like obscure music genres that I don't care if playing Fudgetical and I do not know who these people are. That way, I'm not using my own ideas of who this person is.
Hmm.
Then I analyze their chart as if they're any person that comes to me. And then I go onto Google and I try to find stuff. And then I have data points from both sides. And that will
Right.
teach you how to read a chart more than trying to figure out why your ex-boyfriend never validated your feelings.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because, spoiler alert, he might have validated other people's feelings and just not yours because there was
No.
something with them. Sometimes it's
Yes.
not a personality flaw or a chart mechanism. It's just like you
Exactly.
good together.
So, if someone knows nothing about their birth chart or astrology, or they're just starting to get interested, right? And they look their birth chart up, what would you say would be the number one sign or placement that someone should look for?
I will actually say like there's two avenues you can go.
Yeah.
For one, I would say there's a reason why everyone says start with your sun, moon, and rising. Like
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
start with your sun, moon, and
Right.
rising. Because your sun is your ego, how you come across, mine's an Aquarius. Your moon is your internal world, how you think, how you feel, and how you process.
Right.
Mine's in Gemini, that's why I'm Chaos Gremlin. And then
Mm-hmm.
your rising is how you charge life and how you approach life. Mine is an
Right.
Aries. So, sun, moon, and rising. From there on, the next thing you need to understand of those is not really how the sign works as much as to understand if it's a fixed or a mutable or a cardinal sign. The cardinal signs are the guys at the first day of the zombie apocalypse. They like go for things, they make the decisions, they act first, they think later, and they kind of keep us alive. The
Mm-hmm.
fixed guys, they keep us alive beyond day two because they're able to form uh, doctrine, they're able to form schedules, they're able
Yeah.
to really bog down, but they also struggle to release. And then the mutable guys are the guys that kind of keep the peace, make sure that things stay fun, and make sure things stays adaptable. If the prison where we're all hiding from day one gets infested with cockroaches, they'll be the guys that says, you know what, we kind of need somewhere else. They're also, incidentally, the people that what might get killed 3 months later, thinking they want to resume and test out if the zombies are still zombies and want to go and get plugged. So that's the second thing. So first
Yeah.
understand who is your sun, moon, and rising. Then
Right.
you need to understand if it's mutable, fixed, or cardinal. So those
Okay.
beginner. The next
Right.
thing that I think you should do is you need to understand your lots. Now, unfortunately, for this, you need to have your time of birth.
Yeah.
So there's three lots I work with: the lot of spirit, the lot of fortune, the lot of spirit, and the lot of eros. And the lots give us your exact blueprint of what life gives you, what does your soul want to achieve, and how can you take what life gives you and make something of it. And the last one, eros, is nothing to do with romance. It's why do you want to do this anyway? And if you understand those three things of your life, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
And then the house it falls in tells you in what area of life does that show up, and the sign tells you what it looks like when it shows
Yeah.
up. And I use a very easy way of understanding the 12 houses. I use a movie studio metaphor. So you have a movie studio that makes multiple movies over the course of your lifetime. And every single room in your movie studio handles a different thing. So the first house, it's the entrance role. interest hall, and that is where the director lives. The second house is the budgeting department. It's where we decide how much money do we have and how much money are we worth making and how much money are we going to spend on these movies. The third house is the writer's room. That is where the narrative gets created. The fourth house is the archive. That is where the root of it all lies. The archive not only holds your footage, beliefs, and most private point, but it also holds that of your family and past generations and their belief systems. The fifth house is the creative studio. This is where the fun things happen. This is where romance, children, creation happens. Sixth house is the daily schedule. This is where the casting list gets printed, where all of those things happen. And then the seventh house is the boardroom. This is where one-on-one relationships get formed and figured out and negotiated. The eighth house, this is the house you have the least amount of control in, because this is the hidden investor. This is where you don't hold all the cards, other people do. It's the shared economy, it's death, taxes, all of those fun things that we all love. The ninth house is where you get to leave the movie studio, where you go and get to shoot off location, get wise, bring it back into the studio. The 10th house is the screening theatre. This is where people go to see the movie that is you. This is exactly what they're here for. And the 11th house is the green room. This is where we all hang out afterwards. This is where we get to talk to our friends and we ponder what's coming next and what the future looks like. And then the 12th house. The 12th house inspired this entire movie studio because it took me almost 10 years to figure out the 12th house. Because the 12th house is the house of mysticism. It's the house of the hidden. It's things we can't see and understand easily. Now that sounds like TikTok gurus with, I don't know if you've heard any of the videos that sound a little bit like this, Jennifer. In order to align with the reality that you want, you need to vibrate at the right frequency. And you need to align to that frequency. So that should be what you focus on. And I'm like, okay, so number one, how do I find the frequency? Number two, how do I align with the frequency? Number three, what even is a frequency?
Right,
And then the follow-up usually is, if you don't understand your frequency, you haven't done the inner child work. And you haven't worked to heal the part of you that needs healing so you can understand it. And then little 8-year-old Nadia in the background is like, I'm the inner child and I've healed. There's nothing wrong with me. I still don't understand this. So it took me an embarrassing long amount of time to understand the 12th house. The way I understand it now is the editing suite. And this is where our subconscious lives. And if you think of an old-timey studio in Hollywood, not even the director could barge into the editing room because every time you opened the door, the film disintegrated.
Yeah.
It was closed even to the director. And that's what your subconscious is like. The only way to access your subconscious, unless you're some weird guru and I don't understand you, in which case the intellectual superior Aquarius of mine is like, let's create our own doctrine so that never happens. The only way to access the subconscious that I know of is by changing the footage you send to the editing room.
Yes.
So if there's a certain part of your life that you have an issue with, let's say, for instance, you really struggle with daily routines. Like, daily routines is your Achilles heel. You don't understand your daily routine and you don't stick to your daily routine.
Right.
And that makes you feel like a failure, subconsciously. Because that's what you send to the editing room every time you failed a routine, like, I'm a failure, and that gets printed over and over again. So what you do is you write 3 things that you do daily that you can control, that you've done daily for a good amount of time. Not, I wake up and go to the gym every morning at 7 a.m., yet I have a Pisces 6th house. That's not happening, Arnie. You do 3 things that you can control that you've been doing. Like, I wake up every morning and make a coffee, and that makes me feel alive. And every time you print that footage that says, I'm not doing enough, I can't stick to a routine, you're like, No, I made my coffee. It made me feel alive.
Yes.
And it made me able to understand and adapt and do my actual job. That's how
Right.
you start reprogramming your subconscious to be like, oh, but I'm actually good at routines. I just need to find a routine that works that I can sustain.
Yes.
And I only accept something as a routine if I've done it for 6 weeks. Because it's much easier to succeed in sticking to a routine for 6 weeks if you treat it as if it's an experiment. Can I stick with
Yeah.
it for 6 weeks?
Yeah.
If I can't, then it just means it's not for me. And
Right.
that is how you reprogram your subconscious.
Hmm.
And that's
I
the
love
secret.
that.
And now you understand
Yes.
how this.
Yes. That's huge. And these are very, very important. Just life, I would say life lessons, I guess, or just learning how to navigate through life if we had this information before. How huge would that be?
And
Like,
that's
even
the
raising
reason
my
of the
children
why.
differently according to their chart, just understanding their personalities and what made them tick. And, you know, I would have that. Yes, this is so important.
For instance, like you're a Leo rising, right?
No, Scorpio.
Scorpio
Leo
rising.
sun and
Leo
Scorpio,
sun, Scorpio
Scorpio.
rising. Okay, you're Scorpio rising. Have you ever thought, like, I meet people that they trust right away, and those people never backstab them. And if I don't trust people right away, it means that there's something wrong with me and I have trust issues. Have you ever thought that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you then compare yourself to people with a different chart and a different rising sign, if you say that's just Sagittarius, then you're setting yourself up for failure because that's structural. That's
Yeah.
structural.
Yeah.
Your entire rising works on depth. Like you don't do casual flirty Libra. Libra
Right.
rising is completely different. Like Libra risings can afford to trust people right off the bat because when they go deep, they don't go that deep.
Yeah.
So even though they meet people and they vibe with them right away, when those people betray them, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I spoke to you like five
Not
times.
my person. Yeah.
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 Whereas
Yeah.
when you bond with someone, you bond with them, they're your person. Like
Yes.
you will go to
Yes.
war for them. Therefore, when they betray you, it hurts a
Oh
lot.
yeah.
So
And then you're
you're
done. Just yeah.
exactly, exactly. And then you're like, oh, I have trust issues. I can't trust anyone. No, that's
Right.
not the thing. Like you're made for deep bonding. So
Yes.
you have to vet people. Like you can be bubbly and sunny and Leo,
Yeah.
but you still need to vet people because when someone is your person, you will go to hell for them and go and drag
Yes.
them back and then tell them
Yes.
the entire way, like, girl, why didn't you invite me from the start? Like,
Yes.
I'm a bit butthurt that you didn't include me and you just wanted me to rescue you.
Yes. And superficial, I say superficial, just not well yeah, superficial relationships and conversations. I'm not gonna say I can't do it, but I am not great at that. And I can be awkward. You know, I it's not my thing.
That's not
I,
surprising me. I think you probably feel more awkward than you are because your Leo probably masks that. So you come
I
across like
agree.
you are brilliant at small talk
I
because
feel
Leo
like
does
I'm
that.
so
Yeah.
awkward.
So when you tell people I'm really awkward, they're like, but Jennifer can talk
What?
to
No, you're not.
anyone. It's fine. Like she talked about Stephanie about the bake sale like for 10 minutes and they debated whether the
And the
gluten-free
whole time my
brownies were
insides were just
necessary.
like,
Yeah, you're just like,
mm-hmm.
I want to die. I want to die. Does Stephanie know I want to die?
That's what my insides are doing every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know that I don't come across as awkward as I feel inside. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have been an entirely different person if you were a Scorpio as well. Like, girl, this would be a different podcast.
Maybe we just need to pretend just to see where it would go.
This would probably be a true crime podcast where you interview like really hardcore like ex-convicts as well as seasoned investigators that are telling you the darkest of the darkest.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which is
it
also
wouldn't be.
fascinating to me too.
Oh yeah, obviously you've got
Yeah.
Scorpio placements. Like obviously, I like true crime too, but it wouldn't
Yeah.
be the Deep Roots Wellness Studio. It would probably
Right.
be like Deep Roots Prison and Beyond.
This conversation has been amazing.
Thank you.
I want to do it again.
Me too. Yeah, we can do part
Good.
two. Yeah,
We
can
are
do
going to do part 2.
Yeah.
So, let's share how everyone can find you. Really, maybe not like how they can find you, but where they can find your information. I don't want people like coming to your house.
Oh, so you don't want me to give my address?
Well, I mean, we can.
Well, I
can
have
try.
given it to the Amazon gang, so.
I mean, if the Amazon gang can have your address, so can we. So yes, share it.
Well, first thing I want to say, and I want to say this first, regardless of which social media we're on, if it's Facebook, Instagram, or one of the ones I'm not on, if you ever get a DM from me saying I feel called to tell you a message from the universe, if I call you my beloved, which I won't, because that's just freaking weird.
I felt so special.
Yeah, I'll tell you the beloved joke in a second because it's hilarious. So if I call you anything like that, and also if I do not understand basic grammar, that is a scammer trying to get you to donate money in order to tell you something that ChatGPT can tell you. So just go to ChatGPT. But if you want to find me, and on some of the platforms like X and stuff that I'm not on, it's a whole nother ballgame. So my website will be the one true place of gospel, because that will link to my exact different social media links. So very simple, www.nadiatheron.com, just that.
And it will be in the description, so
yeah,
easy to find.
So if you see a Facebook account with like 3,000 followers and it looks legit, just check on my website. I have long form YouTube in the works. I'm really excited because I want to do celebrity chart deep dives where you can kind of see and analyze a chart.
Yes.
I also want to do quite a few killers. I have so much material on Chris Watts. His chart is fascinating.
Can't wait to watch.
Yeah, Chris Watts' chart. I opened Chris Watts' chart and I was like, holy freaking moly. Like, holy freaking moly. Now, I didn't say that because I could see he was going to be a killer. Like, that's not it at all.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Astrology is not prophecy. Like, I have not turned into Mystic Meg. I'll never be scared of your birth chart. Like, I've never opened up a birth chart and I'm like, this is a psychopath. I need to change
Lock him up now. Save everybody.
Exactly. Like, it can manifest in different ways, and my insight is always 2020. So I've done a video on Jeffrey Epstein's chart. His chart's terrifying. Like, his chart gave me like wow. Incidentally, so a lot of people were just like, I have this placement, I have that placement. Girl, I have 6 placements in common with Jeffrey Epstein, and I haven't trafficked anyone.
Right.
Well, I did bring my Yorkshire Terrier all the way from South Africa to England, so in some senses,
we'll let that one slide.
Yeah, but that's canine trafficking, not human trafficking. So that's fine. So a placement doesn't mean you're bad, but a placement always has a good and a bad side. It's the same with synastry, and I'll leave with that before I go into another rabbit hole and I keep you here till next Tuesday. It's the same with synastry.
I would stay here till next Tuesday.
Maybe we can do an episode specifically on synastry and how your chart works with other people's charts.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
That's really fascinating.
We'll go ahead and book it.
And with synastry, it's like you can have. I created 3 registers when it comes to synastry, and the 3 registers work in the way of so you can have 2 people with very compatible charts,
right?
That have a good relationship. That's great. The chart works great together. that has an incredibly toxic relationship, even though they have a great chart together.
Right.
And you can have people with like horrendous charts that
So
have
interesting.
brilliant, brilliant relationships.
Hmm.
Because it's all about, I call it the triangle of tension at the top,
Yeah.
astrology. And astrology affects both you and the other person. But the choices the two people make and their interaction with each other matters just as much. So having compatibility, because I often get clients where like, how compatible am I with my boyfriend? And I'm
Yeah.
like, how toxic are you and your boyfriend? Like,
Right.
if you have great charts and you have okay relationships, I can give you the tools to have a freaking amazing relationship.
Mm.
If you have very incompatible charts, but you have an okay-ish relationship, I could probably get it a little bit better. And
Yeah.
vice versa. Like if you have great charts, but you have a really toxic
Let's say
relationship,
it.
like
Yeah.
there's only so much we can do. Astrology is not
Right.
prophecy, it's also not magic bullet. I'm not
Yeah.
like expectro Venus and everything is fine.
So astrology is like a guide, right?
Yeah, I think astrology is like, I see it like as the human software. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
treat it the same way I would treat a bug in code. Like,
Right.
where am I finding the bug? Why is this
Yeah.
bug there? How do I counteract this bug? Should I just like delete the stuff and start over again? Or
Yeah.
can I fix it with a patch? And that's the same thing with astrology. Like, is it structural? Is it built in? In which case, obviously, we can't wipe the source code. Or is it just a bug, a unhealed Leo that isn't
Right.
comfortable with the spotlight that is just causing this massive bug? And when we tweak the Leo, everything works. So
Mm.
it's like a guide, like a blueprint. It is
Yeah.
just how you operate. And I don't know why it works. Like, I honestly don't know why I work. And my 12th house Pisces with its North Node doesn't really care that a bunch of guys looked up at the sky and decided this happens.
Yes.
Like maybe if I had like a Virgo North Node in the 12th house, I would be like,
Uh-huh.
get
I
behind
need to
this.
know why it works.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like my subconscious is a beautifully delusional place. Can it be destructive and create a nightmare when it's not tended well? Yes. Can it be beautifully delusional when nothing needs to make sense? Also, yes.
Also, yes. Yes. Oh, Nadia, this has been, I'm going to say it again, just fascinating and wonderful. And we are going to do this again. I know you're going to have to go because you need to go get some rest because you've only had 1 hour of sleep.
Yeah, I've got
And it's
another
getting
five
late
hours.
there. Hmm?
Yeah, I've got another 5 hours and then I'll sleep because I've got yeah, I'm gonna take a bath, relax for a full 30 minutes, read some
Yes.
smut, kind of decompress.
Yes.
And then I am going to do a couple of hours of walking, and then I will have a nice sleep on the sofa because it's too hot, warm to sleep in the bed, and my husband
Ah,
is a fitness.
well, you enjoy that. Enjoy your bath.
Yeah,
Enjoy your smut, and then enjoy the sofa and with the
exactly.
fan or the
Oh
AC
yeah, yeah,
small
yeah.
thing
There's a
that you have
fan.
blowing on you. Enjoy
Yeah, there's
that.
a fan, and there's also a Pomeranian, and when she overheats, she kicks me. And she kicks me in her sleep, and then
Hmm.
I wake up bruised, or I wake her up because she's kicking me, and then she's like, "But mummy, I'm a perfect puppy. I have not done anything." Meanwhile, for the last 10 minutes, she's been like, "Oh," with a
Oh,
bunch of
no.
yeah,
So, just for context, there's a drought in the UK right now, and
just in
they
our
usually don't
area.
need any
So
air
yeah,
conditioners.
we've got a hose pipe ban, so we're not allowed to use the hose pipe, which almost never happens. And we've had very, very, I don't think you can call it a drought yet,
Right?
but I've never seen it this brown. Like it
Yeah,
literally looks like
yeah,
Potchefstroom in South Africa. Like it is
yeah.
brown. Um, and we've had the first time in like 10 years we had a wildfire last
No,
weekend. Yeah. Now
that
I
can be
grew up in South
dangerous.
Africa in the northwest, so
Yeah,
wildfires were like, yeah,
this
like
is
massive
normal.
wildfires. Yeah, it was. It's funny how things change when you grow up in one country and then move to another country.
Yeah.
because it kind of feels like a different life
I
completely.
would think so.
Yeah,
Yes, I
it
could
feels
see
like a different
that.
life. Yeah, I had a video call with three of my friends from high school
Mm-hmm.
because next year we're 20 years out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a call with them, all three of them. Um, Still meet up once a year or twice a year.
Oh, that's
They're all three
great.
still in South Africa. They all have children. And it felt like I was talking to me of a past life
Ah,
because
yes.
we've just had such vastly different experiences.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And not one good and one bad. It's just like
No,
so
just different.
different.
Yeah.
Yes, so different. And then when they say things about their everyday reality, like it's
Right.
cold and it's the middle of July at the time, or this and that, and then I'm just like hit with these memories, and I'm like, I know exactly how they're feeling, but
Oh,
I haven't experienced it
yes.
in like 15 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is very
that is
interesting.
fascinating. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this
Welcome.
and enjoy your evening and we will be in touch soon. Um and again, like I said, thank you so much.
Well, this was so much fun. I would definitely do this again. And I think an entire segment just about synastry and couples charts would
Let's
be
do it.
fascinating.
Let's do it.
Thank you so
Sounds
much,
great.
Jennifer. I am
Thank
now going to
you.
count you as a friend, and I hope that after an hour and 40 minutes, I have passed the Scorpio trust test.
Yes, you have. I'm loving it.